Hello dear students, welcome back. In this session we will learn about new relation in frog. Now new relation new relation generally defines the process of formation of neural tube. Now we know that from the time the zygote is formed, it undergoes cleavage, then morula, then blastula, then gastrula. In gastrula, what happens? All the three germ layers will be formed, and the next step after gastrulation is the neural tube formation, and this process we call it as neurulation. Okay, so in this session we will learn like how this process of neurulation occurs, what are the changes that takes place, and what is the resultant outcome of this process. I am Dr. Lata, assistant professor, department of zoology, Maharani Science College for Women, Bengaluru. Now, once the process of, in the last session, we learned about how the process of gastrulation occurs in frog, and we know like how these three germ layers are formed, and we also learned the structure of a fully formed gastrula, wherein we saw that the roof of the archenteron was occupied by the notochord, and on either side of the notochord there was a mesoderm being present. Now, once the mesoderm occupies, it comes and flanks the notochord on both the sides, the presumptive area of this nervous system becomes differentiated from rest of the ectoderm. And this region of the embryo is what we call as neural plate. You know that epidermis the ectoderm is differentiated into two. One is the epidermal ectoderm, the other one is the neurectoderm. So from this epidermal ectoderm, you have the derivatives of the ectoderm being differentiated, and from the neurectoderm, you have the differentiation of the nervous system. So that neurectoderm is what from which the neural tube formation takes place. That region of the embryo is what is called as the neural plate, and it is from this neural plate you will have the formation of the neural tube. And the process by which this tissue forms a neural tube is called neurulation, and embryo at this stage we call it as neurula. So neurulation is a process and the embryo is referred as neurula. Now this slide tells you, it's a general schematic representation of how the neural tube formation takes place. If you look at the first picture here, neuroectodermal tissues, it differentiate from the epidermal ectoderm and it becomes little thickened to form a neural plate. Okay, that's how the neural plate gets differentiated. And then this neural plate, the margin of this neural plate, it gets separated from the ectoderm. You can see a green mark here. So it is this region which shows the separation of, yeah, here you can see that the neural plate is separated from ectoderm with that green color mark you can see, right? So that is the margin of the neural plate. Then what happens in the next stage, this neural plate which is differentiated, that it converges, like it bends dorsally with the two ends eventually coming to meet. So when they bend, what happens, the ridge or the it gives rise to the formation of a depression, and that depression we called it as neural groove. Okay, and if you observe, because of the formation of this neural groove here, these two ridges have formed here and here, and that is called as neural fold or the neural, yeah, this is called as neural fold. And then these cells that are separating the neural plate from the ectoderm, that are there in the green, color, they are called as the neural crest cells. Now why they are called neural crest cells? They are the ones which come and form this crest. Okay, so because of their position they are called as neural crest cells. Now when this neural plate, when it forms this groove, or when it undergoes this kind of depression, then what are the changes that it results in? It when this bending undergoes, it pushes the notochord little down, and then the mesoderm which is there on its either side, that will raise up a bit, and then these two folds will try to fuse. Now why will they fuse? Because they have to form a tube like structure, isn't it? The ultimate outcome of this neurulation is the formation of neural tube. So in order to form a tube, these two neural folds, they merge, they converge. Thereby it results in the formation of a neural tube here, because it becomes a circular closed structure like this. And then as a result, what happens? This neural crest cells, observe for this green color, here they were present on the margin of the neural plate, and here when the neural tube forms, the neural crest will become a separate sheet of cells, and it is this neural crest cells which are going to form the cells of the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so then above this, the ectoderm will continue as a single layer. So this will form the epidermal ectoderm. So at the end of neurulation, what happens? The notochord will be present below the neural tube. So you have the complete formation of neural tube, and then the neural crest cell would give rise to the ganglion, and then the mesoderm that are there on either side, they would extend like this, and they give rise to the formation of somites and the precursors of the axial skeleton and the skeletal muscles. So this picture gives you a general outline of the process of neurulation. Now let us understand how it happens in case of frog. Now during neurulation, the original ectoderm, it's get divided into three sets of cells, like the outer ectodermal cells forming the epidermis of skin, which is, we call it as epidermal ectoderm, neural ectodermal cells that gives rise to central nervous system, and the neural crest cells that give rise to the peripheral nervous system, and a variety of other cell types which later migrate to distant regions of the embryo. Now, these neural crest cells has a characteristic feature of wherein it can migrate. They are migratory in nature. They can move to different parts of the embryo. Now, if you look into the process of neural tube formation, as we said, neurulation begins with the formation of a neural plate, and this presumptive area of this nervous system becomes differentiated from rest of the ectoderm. Which is the rest of the ectoderm? The epidermal ectoderm, and the cells become flat and thick in the form of a plate, and this region we call it as neural plate. Now the cells of this neural plate change in shape. They become elongated and arrange themselves into a columnar epithelial layer. Now during this process, the embryo lengthens along the anterior-posterior axis. It narrows itself so that the subsequent bending of the tube is facilitated. Now at the time the edges of this neural plate become thickened and become raised above this general level as ridges, then it is called as a neural fold. So here you can observe, first you have a depression which is called as a neural groove, and because of the depression formed, both the sides of this neural groove, it becomes raised up. So that we call it as a neural fold. And then the rest of the ectoderm is the epidermal ectoderm. And then because of this folding, the neural crest cells which were there as on the margin of the neural plate, they both converge and they come over the neural tube once it is fused. The neural folds become higher, and consequently there is a formation of this neural groove, and which extends throughout the length of the embryo. And the neural folds meet each other in the dorsal midline, and they fuse to form this neural tube. The neural tube separates from the surface ectoderm and forms a closed cylinder. it will become cylindrical in nature, and the epithelial cells at that surface form a continuous layer to cover this neural tube. The embryo at this stage is called as neurula. Now this is the diagram that you should be writing in your exams if you are asked to write about the neurulation process. So this describes the thickening or little enlargement of this neural plate cell, then the formation of neural fold and fusion of the neural fold forming the neural groove, and then separation of this neural crest cells because of the formation of neural folds. Neural folds fuse to form a neural tube, thereby separating this neural crest cells, and the crest cells will come and lie between the epidermis and the neural tube. Thus, the change in shape of the cells in this neural tube results in regionalization of the neural tube. In the cephalic end, that is the end which will differentiate into brain, the wall of the tube is broad and thick, and a series of swellings and constrictions develop that define the various divisions of the brain. And caudally, that is towards the posterior end, the tube becomes simple and narrow and it extends into the tail, while the neural tube overlying the notochord will develop into spinal cord. Now this neural plate is induced by early signals in the ectoderm and form signals from the mesoderm that comes to lie below the perspective neural plate ectoderm during gastrulation. Now studies have shown that the notochord is necessary for this neural plate formation. Next, coming to this neural crest cells, we said that the neural crest cells are induced at the borders of the neural plate and they raise up at neurulation to form neural folds. And these cells undergo extensive migration and form various types of cells. For example, they give rise to the glia cells, the neurons of autonomic nervous system, the Schwann cells of peripheral nervous system, pigment cells of the skin, and adrenal producing cells of the adrenal glands. Since they are migratory in nature, they reach out to different organs of the body and they are responsible for all these functions. Now let us understand what triggers this kind of separation. The separation of this neural tube from the surface ectoderm is brought about by expression of different cell adhesion molecules. Now the cells of the surface ectoderm, it synthesizes an adhesion molecule called as E-cadherin. Now cadherins are a group of, it's a kind of a protein. So E here stands for epithelial cadherins, which in turn keep the cells together. They bind the two epithelial cells together. Now the ectodermal cells forming this neural tube, which initially they keep synthesizing E-cadherin, they stop producing this protein and instead they synthesize N-cadherin. Here N stands for neural cadherin, and N-cam. Here cam stands for so N stands for neural. So they stop synthesizing E-cadherins and they produce neural cadherins and neural cell adhesion molecules. So what these NCAMs will do is they tend to keep these neural kind of molecule, similar group of molecules together. So thereby they separate from the epithelial cells and they get bind to this neural cells, and this is facilitated by neural cell adhesion molecules. So this shift in or this change in the production of these proteins is what triggers the separation. Now because of this different cell adhesion molecules expressed, the neural tissue separates from the surface ectoderm. Now to summarize, the process of neurulation can be divided into three distinct stages. One is the formation and shaping of this neural plate and bending of neural plate to form neural groove and neural folds, and then closure of this neural groove to form neural tube. So once the neural tube is formed, then we call the embryo to be in neurula stage and it has undergone the process of neurulation. Now, once neurulation is complete, it is followed by the process of notogenesis, that is the formation of notochord or differentiation of notochord, and then the formation of coelom. So, we have learned that the mesoderm will come and lie on either side of the notochord, and then this lateral plate mesoderm split into two to form somatopleur and the splanchnopleur, and thereby forming a coelom. And then later this coelom differentiates into the body coelom. Now the next process is notogenesis, which is nothing but the process of formation of notochord. The mesoendodermal cell lying in the mid-dorsal region of the roof of the archenteron, it separates from the mesoderm layer, and these cells become a solid cylinder rod-like structure along this median line, and parallel and just below the neural tube lies this notochord. Later, it develops a sheath or covering around the notochord known as the notochordal sheath, and in adult, notochord gets replaced by the vertebral column. So this diagram gives you a clear picture as to how once the neural tube is formed, like the position of the notochord and the lateral plate mesoderm, and how it splits into two, forming it gave rise to three. Splitting of this lateral plate mesoderm gave rise to somatopleur, wherein the mesoderm that goes with the ectoderm, it's called somatopleur, and the one which comes or which is towards the endoderm is called as splanchnopleur. Then the formation of coelom, when you look into the coelom, is the body cavity, and it is mesodermal in origin because coelom is formed by splitting of this mesodermal layer into the outer somatic or the somatic mesoderm and the inner visceral or the splanchnic layer. Now between these two layers lies a cavity which is formed and it is called as splanchnocoel, which extend downwards and continues to the outside below the gut. Now this outer somatic layer combines with the ectoderm to form the body wall, and hence it is called as somatopleur, whereas the inner visceral layer, it unites with the endoderm to form gut wall or the splanchnopleur. Whereas the splanchnocoel, the cavity, it continues to form the body cavity between the gut wall and the body wall, and this coelom we call it as schizocoelom. So this is a diagrammatic representation of splitting of lateral plate mesoderm and formation of somatic mesoderm and the splanchnic mesoderm along with the coelom formation. So once the neurulation completes, it is followed by notogenesis and the coelom formation, and then different organogenesis or the differentiation of different organs takes place, and then it results in certain post-neural development where we come across the formation of tailbud larva and the early formation of tadpole, and then later larval stages like the stage like external gill stage and internal gill stage, and then it undergoes the process of metamorphosis as and when the hormonal changes occurs in the embryo. We also see this metamorphosis happening from a tadpole into an adult, that we will learn in our subsequent sessions. So these are the books from which the reference material has been taken. Here are a few questions for you. In frog, the presumptive area of the nervous system that gets differentiated from rest of the ectoderm is called the neural plate. The rest are also the part of the neurulation, but here the question is specifically with respect to the region that gets differentiated from rest of the ectoderm. So the right answer is neural plate. Neurulation is represented by the formation of neural tube, neural groove, neural fold, all the above. The right option is all the above because all these three structures explains or represents the neurulation process. The characteristics of neural crest cells are they are migratory in nature, they forms neural folds, they forms pigment cells of the skin, all the above. The right option is all the above because it does all these three jobs. Three distinct stages during the process of neurulation are formation of neural tube, formation of neural groove, folds and closure of the neural groove to form the neural tube. So the right option is option D. The inner visceral layer of mesoderm unites with endoderm to form splanchnopleure, somatopleure, both or none. The right option is option A, that is splanchnopleure. Somatopleure is formed by the mesoderm and the ectoderm. So the right option here is option A. So I hope you all understood this concept of neurulation in frog. Thank you for listening. For any queries, you can email me at vlatadamodaran@gmail.com. Thank you.